Welcome back, everyone. The tragic passing of Kobe Bryant has so many of us honoring not only the success he had as an athlete, but the overall legacy that he leaves behind. It makes us all think just a little bit harder about our own lives and what we want people to remember us by. So how do you leave a legacy? We decided this was a good one to dive into today in Real Talk. Of course, Kara stuck around and making their Real Talk debuts, organization expert Kat Duncan, and motivational speaker and author Naya Brown Matthews. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
So happy to have you on such a good one. I think all of us have been, in the last less than 48 hours, been thinking about the lives that we want to lead, the people that we want to be, and it's unfortunately these tragedies that make us do just that. What would you say, or speaking of legacies, I just want to know personally for you, getting to know you guys a little bit better, who is a legacy in your mind? Kara, I'll give you guys time to think.
Sure.
Start with you.
I guess I would say I lost my dad almost 7 years ago, so I guess he is somebody that I really try to. Y'all,
I'm sorry.
Even reading the intro, I was like, this is going to be so hard. This is so heartbreaking. Like, just your life can change so quickly. And but I don't know. I think it's just really important to honor people and to speak about them. Like, as simple as that is, just to speak about them and hold them not just in your hearts, but to talk about them so that people can remember them how you remembered them. And it's one of the hardest things to do. I mean, I don't talk about people that I've loved and lost nearly as enough as I should. And especially with having young children, like, that will never know my dad, like, it's so important for me to be that conduit for my kids. So.
Absolutely. Kat, what do you think?
I would have to say my grandmother. She passed away about 12 years ago, but I think our family has really tried, through decisions that we make and actions that we take, to really think about what she would do and how she would want us to behave. And, you know, it really makes you just not sweat the small stuff, because when someone's here one day and not here the next, is it really important, you know, those little inconveniences that happen throughout the day.
Aren't you thinking about that now every single day, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it really makes you think, you know, you start to get mad about or frustrated about something yesterday. I'm like, it's going to be okay. None of it matters. And thinking back to somebody, whether it is somebody that you know and that is close to you, or maybe someone that isn't, but that you've always looked up to, who's a legacy to you?
It is my dad as well. He passed away of lupus at 50.
Oh,
and
so sorry.
It's tough because he's one of the biggest Kobe fans ever. And I wear his jersey from time to time because we bought him a Kobe jersey. But he was my hero. He was my hero. He always taught us about staying strong and living your best life to the fullest with no regrets.
Right.
And so yeah, it was my dad.
Your
too.
dad.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this weekend that I didn't get a chance to talk about yesterday because we were all so devastated, but it was interesting. I went to go see Oprah for the Vision tour, and one of the things that she talked about that really stuck out with me, and I have it written in my workbook, is intention. Is her life changed, the trajectory of the show changed. You know, when she's kind of started getting a little more like everybody else was, like Sally, Jesse, Raphael, and maybe she wasn't being true to herself. So for her, she talked about what changed for her was intention. And she once wanted us all to think about your word. You don't have to say it right now. I'm not going to put you all on the spot anymore. But something that is your word for the year to live by. And will that perhaps help you in creating your own legacy and whatever that is. But I love that for her. She told the producer, don't bring me anything unless I know and understand your intention behind this interview. And boy, did it really fine tune things for her and look at then the way, the success, the journey, the path that she took. So I think that, you know, it's something to think about. Let us know on Facebook right now what your word is for the year and how to leave a legacy, a life of a legacy. Well, just kind of thinking about some of the ways that we can. The first one they said is be a role model, not just for kids, but friends, acquaintances, even people that you've recently met. I was checking out your Instagram page and just learning more about you and your life, and you've got a great following. What's that like for you? Because, you know, you have to kind of put yourself out there and being true to who you are. And that includes, I imagine, being a role model for people that look up to you.
Yes. With being a 2-time cancer survivor, that obstacle alone will shake you. It will shake you, but it also puts you in line with what's really important in life. I put my best foot forward despite what it is that I go through. But one thing I've learned through that whole process is learning how to be true to yourself.
Right.
With no regrets. And learning that if you don't do it today, doing it tomorrow is okay.
Yeah.
It all doesn't have to get done today. There's this pressure of it has to, do what everybody else is doing at the capacity or the pace that they're doing it. But we have our own pace, we have our own structure, we have our own time. Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes, I love that. Now, some people might think, especially after a crisis, no, I think I better do something now. But you're saying it's okay to evaluate or reevaluate.
Yes.
Yes, and I think it's so true when you think about, again, prioritizing and where your family and friends fall into that. The second point they make is raising your children well. Kat, I forgot to ask if you have kids.
I don't.
Not? Okay.
I don't. So this one kind of eliminates me from that one, but I work with moms every day, and my mom's the middle of 5 kids, and so I come from a large family, and teaching the next generation what's important and how to behave and how to give your best to society, to me, it seems like the best gift that any parent or family member could give to someone that hasn't lived as long as they have.
Right, and even though, Kara, I know you have little ones, including our littlest Liza, I mean, it's something to start thinking about, right? I mean, now just James, a little young man that he is, about how do we instill in them the proper qualities.
Yeah, I mean, I think teaching
leadership.
kindness every day and teaching the golden rule, the thing that's been around forever, just treating people how you want to be treated is just really how I want them to go forward. I didn't plan on having 3 kids, but I was like, you know what? My husband is such a good guy too. I want that to be emulated in my sons. I want to make some people to, to make the world a little bit a better place. That's very altruistic, I understand, but I don't know. I really felt that when I brought these little beings into the
Show him
world.
this clip. That was very sweet.
Thank you.
That's right. He's so special. You wanted more little Lees running around. I love that. What about expressing love on a daily basis? It all goes down to love. I think one of the resounding things, and I came home yesterday and I've been under the weather and I just sat in bed and I knew I should have slept, but I just kept reading. And it was filling my heart of what all athletes and friends and leaders and strangers, what they said about his love, not just of the game, that was apparent, but his love of family. How important is that? Especially now in this day and age in 2020 when we take for granted old-fashioned phone calls to reach out and to tell people that you love them. How often are you doing that?
I do it quite often. I believe in making memories. We do get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of social media, having our phones always in our hands. I like to take in that moment. Anytime I'm around, I have a daughter who's in college, and she still texts me. Yeah.
I'm shocked right now.
She's a junior in college, and she texts me every night, "Good night, Mommy, I love you," and she wakes up and you have a great day, and I don't take that for granted.
Yes.
So just taking those types of things of telling someone how you actually feel about them. If you love them, say it. Don't just text it, pick up the phone and say it.
Right.
Because you just never know.
Right, exactly. And again, I think it's just a good reminder. I think at the beginning either we make these resolutions, and then here, these several weeks later, we have just a new, in case some of our best intentions have fallen by the wayside, now it's just another motivator to do the right thing, including number 4, give. Kat, how are you finding ways to give? No matter what the situation is, and most importantly, don't expect anything in return.
Yeah, my parents always taught us growing up that if you save 10% of what you make and tithe another 10%, you will always be set. And whether you choose to tithe to a religious entity or some other form of giving
Charity.
back, I think that that's really important. And whether it truly is a monetary giving or giving of your time, not everyone can afford to hand over money that they make, but everyone can afford to give a little bit of time and care and just show someone that you genuinely do want the best for them and you want to help them.
Right.
That's so lovely.
Absolutely. It really is.
Yeah. I was thinking though when you were saying to call people, why have we also been so conditioned and trained? Like if I called Christine tomorrow and I'm like, I just want to say I love you. You'd be like, what's going on?
What's wrong?
Girl? Like what's going on? Is everybody okay? But I mean, why is that like our gut reaction to be like, oh, why is
Well, that happens to me.
Okay,
When I get a call in the
Should be like
middle of
that.
the day from someone that doesn't normally call me, normally I answer and I say, "Is everything okay?"
Right.
Before I say anything.
Or
Yeah.
worse, we make the excuses. Like,
Right.
don't you go, hey, I was just driving, I didn't want to text.
Right.
Why are we doing that?
I know.
Right.
Yes.
Just-
We've got to stop it.
Yeah, make it normal.
Exactly, exactly. And people love to hear voices. Some of you may not, but I do.
I mean, I don't love a voicemail, but
Yes, I know. We talked about this the other day. We did, but
okay.
we like to hear live voices. All right, and the next one, because we're running out of time. What do you think about inspire? Let's talk about inspiring. If you found your passion and you know what you want and you've achieved some goals and you're content and you're happy, and as Oprah was telling us to fill out that form in our book, if you were hitting all the highest scores in that department, teach, inspire others. What do you think?
I think it's really important to inspire others because not everyone knows the path that they're supposed to be on. And even for me, there are some days I wake up feeling like I'm conquering the world, and then other days that I feel so lost and like I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. And so having someone that is inspiring you every day in some capacity, I think is just really important.
yeah. And
Yes.
inspiration can come in the least likely of ways
Yeah.
too, right? You can find it anywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I would say, even with social media and having the influence, I'm very transparent. And I even show my vulnerability of showing that I'm human. And I fall down and I fall short, but I use those things to fuel me to do and be better.
Right.
And they say, wow, if she can get over that, so can I.
Right. Well, and I think those are the people for me personally that I want to follow. People that I feel like are genuine, are real, are honest, and are people that I feel like are an inspiration. So thank you, ladies. I wish we had more time. The last one is be honest, share your feelings as well as your triumphs. Oh, sorry. Second to last one I was going to ask, because Kara did this recently, make family history. So your dad with the restaurant, I don't want to make you cry, but what you
No.
did with all the recipes
Oh yeah, yeah.
is a way to keep it
keep them going, and then people generations can cook from all those recipes. My dad owned a restaurant, so
Yes,
yeah, it's
right.
fun. Yeah.
Great.
And listen, if our little ones didn't get to meet people that were so important to us, their grandparents, their aunts or uncles, then what a great way to just kind of solidify those memories and pay tribute to them. So important. Thank you so much, guys.
you.
So happy, comfortable, right?
Yes.
This is really
Absolutely.
I know. I love that.